I want to construct an incenter of a triangle. This is found on page 407 in your book. The point of concurrency, I usually call it the intersection, and this is the symbol that we use for intersection, of the angle bisectors of a triangle is called the incenter. So when you find two of the angle bisectors where they intersect, then you have found the incenter for the triangle. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to construct angle bisectors. You can choose any angles that you want to. I'm going to start with angle X, which is to the left. And to do the angle bisector, I'm going to cut an arc that crosses both of the sides of the angle. And then from those new points of intersection, I'm going to cut another arc, not changing the measure of my compass. And I get a new point, and we know that 2 points determine a line. So when I connect these 2 points, when I connect this point with my vertex, this is my vertex for X, and this is my point of intersection. So when I draw this ray will bisect angle YXZ. And I'm going to mark it so I know that these two are congruent, so we know it's an angle bisector. I need to bisect another angle. Actually, you can bisect all three, but if you bisect two of the angles, they're going to intersect, and that will be enough for you to know where the incenter is. So I'm going to bisect angle Z as well. I'm going to cut an arc for angle Z, and then using the points that are determined by cutting this arc, I'm going to make arcs inside the triangle. And where these arcs intersect, I get another point. So if I draw the point from Z to there, and I'm trying to line it up so you can see this as I'm doing it, from Z through there, I get this ray, and I'm not quite on it. I need to move it over just a little bit more. I'll move it over just a little bit more so I can actually go through my point. And you will notice that this angle bisector intersects this angle bisector at point I. And I will be the incenter of the triangle. I could also bisect the angle at Y and show you that that angle bisector will also go through that point. So we'll do that now, just so you can see. I'm going to bisect the angle at Y by cutting arcs. And then I can't see it very well, so I doubt that you can either. Cut these arcs all the way around to there. There we go. Now from here, I can cut an arc inside. And from here, I can cut an arc inside. And it looks like I'm a little bit off. And that's very possible because of the way that I'm doing this. But I will go ahead and show you. Remember, I was even off when I did this line, and I realized that as I was doing it. Because if I do this angle bisector, these three really do not intersect all at the same point. So even though this was supposed to be congruent to this, and this one was supposed to be congruent to this, and these three angle bisectors should all intersect at the same point, which I'm calling point I in here. Something tells me that one of mine may be off, and for some reason I think it's right here, because you see that? I can see now that I really did not go through this point. It's very easy It's very easy to make a mistake for me, Ahava. Just that little bit of a difference of a mistake can really make a difference. So that's point I right there. Way in there is point I. And you can see my original ray was off because it did not go through this point. When you do this at home and you're able to have it directly in front of you when you're doing it and not having to reach out like I do, because I'm actually sitting 2 feet away from where I'm drawing. And so even though I can do the measurements and things with my hands, visually the perception is not as good for me. So I want you to practice this. Just draw any triangles, and when you do the 2 of the angle bisectors, they will intersect at the incenter.